guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelsey and thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a Pan That Palette update. So at the beginning of the year, I wasn't quite sure what my panning goals were going to be for the year of 2018. I didn't really start anything. The only thing that I semi-started was a Pan That palette, and it wasn't even like I wanted to pan this palette at all. I just want to use it because I really like it. So the palette I'm talking about is the Morphe and Kathleen Lights palette. Now this has been around for at least a year and a half at this point. I remember it came out right around Thanksgiving time in 2016. So it's been a while since it's been out, but this is what the shades are. And I just feel like this is personally for me just about everything that I could want in a palette. You've got your matte cream color, which is a must for me. You've got a light shimmer shade. You've got a few lighter transition shades. This mustardy color here is my favorite color ever. It's beautiful. You've got some red tones. You've got a black. You've got even a cooler gray color with a really pretty army green shimmery color. You have a pop of a green, and then there's a really pretty silvery taupey color. You've got lots of bronzy shimmers. It's such a great all-inclusive palette for my personal taste. I mean, I don't use this green one very often, but everything else gets quite a bit of use. So since I talked about it at the beginning of the year, I honestly have not been that great about using this. I think saying that I wanted to use it made it so that I wasn't using it as much. Because honestly, before that, I used this palette so much. I travel with this palette all the time because it's such a great travel palette. Because again, it's just so inclusive. And it's thin. It's just got small packaging. There's nothing fancy on it. There's not a mirror, which is kind of a bummer. But there's not really anything to break. The shadows are great. They blend well. They're pigmented. But I just haven't used it really a lot this year. So for the rest of the year, I'd like to jump into this palette a bit more. Do a few looks with this palette here on my channel. So today I'm going to start with a very basic look. This is my go-to look for this palette. And I feel like I might have done something similar like this look with this palette before, but it's been a long time. I don't do a ton of makeup looks on my channel because I just do the same thing over and over again, and so it can get a little old. But I'd like to challenge myself with this palette for the next few months, kind of get some different looks. I do like a really nice gray look with this palette. You can get a really great neutral look. You can get a nice red look. So today I'm going to go for a little bit of a nude look. So I'm going to prime my eyes and then we'll get started. So I just primed my eyes using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer. This is my go-to primer, but it felt a little weird doing it after I'd already done my brows because I usually bring it up into my brows a little bit, and I didn't want to do that since they're already done. But so my first step after priming is always to set the primer, which I'm just going to use that nice matte cream color here. That's my go-to shadow, or that kind of color after I prime my eyes. Yeah, Charles? And it goes slightly under my eye as well. Trolley. Next step, I'm going to take a fluffy crease brush. This one is from Wet n Wild. I love this brush. And I'm going to go into this shade here. Now this one does have some shimmer in it, but it does not come across shimmery. I don't know what happens, but you can dip into it, use it in your crease, and it does not come out shimmery. I don't know. But I like it as a transition color. So I'm just gonna use it in my crease. And I'm also going to kind of take it down just lightly on my lid as well. Lately I've just been into a nice like wash of color all over my lid instead of leaving it bare. And I'm kind of taking this shade pretty high up on my brow bone. Like I'm not going to my eyebrow, but just about. Because I really just want to get a nice diffused look. Gotta let the cat into the bathroom, Charlie. Now that I've got that nice and blended pretty much everywhere, I'm gonna go into this mustard shade here, my favorite color in the palette, which there's a lot used, but I definitely haven't hit pan on it. The only two that I have hit pan on are these two. To use that shade, I'm gonna be taking this like angled brush here. This is from the Vintage Cosmetic Company, and just lightly going into that mustard color, tap off excess. And I'm kind of just gonna take that into my outer crease and then up into my crease a little bit, but definitely not go as high as I took that other one. And I'm going to go back to that Wet n Wild fluffy brush and just blend out more. So I went a little bit heavier with the yellow on this side, so I'm just going to even it out a little bit on this side again. And continue blending. Moving on to the lash line, I'm going to go back in with that first shade here, the kind of shimmery brown color, and I'm going in with another Vintage Cosmetics brush. This one's like a small little smudger brush, and I'm going to take that color just all along the lower lash line. And then using the same brush, I'm just going to go in with that mustard shade and just focus it on the like outer corner of my lower lash line. And then I really want this lower lash line to be really diffused, so I'm going to go back in with that fluffy Wet n Wild brush and just run it all along the lower lash line. Oh no, that's not a good look. And then the final step in this eye look is a little bit of highlight. Now I really enjoy the highlight shade in here, but it is quite intense. So what I like to do is take a little bit of a fluffy brush, but something with a little bit more of a point to it, and then I'm gonna go in with the matte shade and the highlight shade, and then do my brow bone, and then take whatever is left and do it on the inner corner. And then that pretty much does it for the look I'm going for. So this would be like an everyday look for me. If I wanted to go with something a little bit more intense, I have done this many a times where I'll take this black shade and just kind of really focus it in the outer crease, and then just have like a little bit of black on the outer edge, kind of makes it a little bit more dramatic, a little smoky, but I don't want to do that. Or easily you could take this look and just add some eyeliner and you've got like a really cute eye. But I've been so not about eyeliner lately. I actually haven't even been wearing eyeshadow lately, which is a big reason why I haven't been using this palette. I honestly will just go in with like a matte shade and go everywhere, and then maybe do a little bit of highlight on like the brow bone and the inner corner, and just call it a day and pop some mascara on. Sometimes not even mascara. Like, it's been hot and I don't want to wear everything on my face. So, yeah. I am going to pop some mascara on and I'll be right back. Alright, so that's gonna finish up the look. I ended it with just some Lights Camera Lashes mascara from Tarte. It is a great mascara, but this is like an everyday eye. So my next goal is to do something a little bit out of my comfort zone. So I usually stick to the like nude colors in here. I do use these reds pretty often as well, but I think next time I want to use like these cool tone colors over here because they're really pretty and I think they look really good on my eyes. It's just not something I normally go for. So I will be doing another one of these check-ins on this palette in a month or so, and we'll just continue throughout the rest of the year using this palette. I think at the beginning of the year I said I wanted to maybe use up this matte shade, get more of a pan on this highlight shade, and then I also wanted to hit pan on like some of these other ones that I use frequently, like the one I put in the crease, the yellow, and then maybe even this like deeper brown color. But honestly, at this point, I feel like I don't really have any goals as far as panning this, but I just want to remember to use it because I love this palette. And I have so many palettes now. It starts to get overwhelming with like how much makeup you have, and it's hard to remember what to use. So for the rest of the year, I'm going to be keeping this on top of my vanity, which if you saw my makeup collection, I don't remember what I called it, my makeup collection video I posted earlier in June. I went through all of my makeup and kind of like showed you the stuff I'm focusing on. So the palettes that are on top of my vanity are stuff that I use all the time, or like stuff that I want to get use out of. So this will be sitting on top of my vanity for the rest of the year, and then come next year we'll see. But I love this palette. Again, I just think it's such a great palette. I feel like not many people talk about this palette. Even when it came out, which was a while ago, I feel like not many people talked about it. But I just think it's so great. So if you like this palette or you want to hear more about this palette, let me know. If you've done a look with this palette, I would love to see it. Whether it's here on YouTube or on Instagram, link it down below. I would love to see it. But yeah, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And until next time, bye guys.